Morning, Abraham. The law of allowing struck a pretty big part of me, and going way, way back in history with my brother. Older brother, never really got along with him too well, and pretty much avoided him after a period of time, not getting into interactions with him and so forth. And he went his way, I went my way in business, two different types of businesses. And just recently, we are now going to go into business together, not by choice, almost by a family acquired a business which we're all now getting ourselves involved in because we want to support my dad, but also we like the idea of going into business together. But I am having challenges with this because we're so different in many ways. And he's got his routine, I've got my routine of how to do business. I don't know really which way to go at this point to interact with him. I just feel I have a lot of energy on this, a lot of negative energy, which I think I would be inappropriate confronting him right now because I'm on the other side of the spectrum right now. I'm not, I haven't been flowing positive energy toward it. I haven't been writing positive thoughts about it and thinking of all the negative things about it. And yet there could be some great opportunity here because he has a tremendous amount of knowledge and experience in certain areas for this business. I also have a lot of knowledge and experience to add to it. And I just need some assistance on how to, I guess, start my thinking and also how to interact with him. I mean, I wouldn't even hire the man if I was to go into business on my own choice. I wouldn't hire him to run my business. That's my biggest challenge. And yet I've inherited this business, basically, and I've got family to deal with.
So what you're saying is, through the circumstances that I have observed, I have, through my observation, trained myself into an expectation that now doesn't serve me. And isn't this interesting? Because this is what makes people feel powerless. I saw something that made me feel a certain way, and it's even compounded because now I know from Abraham that feeling that way will keep me from my success. So it even gets more confusing, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, we're here to sort of clarify all of it by saying, not only does it not need to compound it, it can get very clear when you understand that you can feel the way you need to feel about this partnership just because you've decided that you're going to. But you have to start now and say, the things that I've thought about you before are irrelevant because Magellan is not asking any of us where we've been. If you will say, my brother and I have both inherited our spot, and now we will both do our best to contribute as positively as we can. Okay. That thought feels better than I'm more deserving of the income I'm making than my brother. In other words, you're asking us about soothing you, and you're asking about releasing resistance, and you're asking about success of the business, and all of those things tie together. But what we really want you to hear from us is that whether your brother earns the money that he gets or not is not the issue. Your resentment of it is the issue. In other words, he could earn unfairly, and you could say, well, it's really best that he just stays out of the way. And I'm looking at this sort of like any inheritance. There are a lot of people that inherit, and even though he's not putting in as much effort, and bring yourself around, it would take some doing, but bring yourself around to feeling all right about that. And the business would thrive because here you are involved in the business. You've got no resentment because you've trained yourself out of it. And now there's no gap between where you are and all of those things that you wanted. But if you're feeling better is dependent upon him behaving better, then don't even start this business because he's not going to behave better, not for more than a day or two at a time. And so you're going to spend all of your energy toward getting him to do what you need him to do, and he'll do it for a little while, and then he'll stop doing it. And then your energy will hit the floor, and then off you'll go again. You've just got to decide right from the beginning that his behavior is not going to be a factor in the way you feel.
Wow. Because I was thinking of going in and training him and doing all these different projects and how to get it done, because he has never had any training in certain areas.
Well, you may be able to do that, and he may surprise you and do all kinds of wonderful things. Mm-hmm. And hopefully he would, and it would be nice if he could have the fun of being involved in it. But what we're saying to you is you can't get invested in the outcome of his behavior. Okay. Train him and feel triumphant if it works and feel nonchalant if it doesn't. Mm-hmm. Don't let the results of his training be a big issue to you, because his behavior stuck in your craw is what will bring the business down. Yeah. His lack of readiness can be replaced by someone else. The money that he earns will not siphon so much money away from the business that it will be a problem. But your resentment of it will siphon energy away from the business, and that will be a problem. This is big, isn't it? Yeah. Because what we're saying to you is something nobody ever wants to hear. It's the thing all children hoped they would never hear from their mother when they went in and they complained to mother, "Mother, so-and-so is making me feel bad." And mother says, "Fight your own battles." Mother says, "This is between the two of you. Work it out." You never wanted to hear that. You always wanted the giant arbitrator in the sky to see the injustice of what was happening and rally on your side, you see. And what we're wanting you to understand is you got to get your power from the source. And you'll never get power from the source while you're quibbling over somebody else doing something wrong. It never ever works out for you. You got to rise above it. You got to say, I'm beyond this. You see, I can love anyway. I can expect success even with funny things going on. I can love my brother even though he's a ne'er-do-well. We're just playing with the words and exaggerating. I can bring myself to feeling glad that he's got this income even though he's not working very hard. Which brings us round to something that we really want to talk about, and that is the resentment that almost everybody feels. In fact, it is the resentment that everybody feels. It's so base. This is so important. Not just you. We're talking to all the yous. It is your own feeling of not enoughness that ever makes you quibble over anybody else's. You'll do just fine in this. You know how to do this. You know how to come into balance. You know how to feel good. But we got to give it to you. You have jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. You've set yourself up for some amazing experiences of allowing. I know that. Just don't expect to jump all at once. Don't ask yourself to be a saint. Don't ask yourself to never feel negative emotion. Don't ask yourself to be without resentment. Just understand it when it comes and talk it down. When you feel resentment, don't beat up on yourself for feeling resentful, and don't ask your brother to be less resentable. Instead, accept, I feel resentful. It doesn't feel good. Let me see if I can work myself into a place of feeling better. And the better you feel, the more you will evoke from everyone around you. Don't see yourself as the mentor or the guide for your brother. He's not going to have any of that. See yourself as the keeper of myself in alignment. See yourself as the blessed one. We've been playing with some of our friends. We say, get up in the morning and decide who you are. Accept a persona. And before you leave the house, practice it until you sort of feel like that. Decide that you're a famous person, for example, and that, like all famous people, a lot of people know you and a lot of people don't know you. So chances are you may not even be recognized today, but just the same, you're a famous person. Move out into the world as if you are a famous person. Dress like you think a famous person would dress, and adopt the demeanor that a famous person would adopt, and move through your day with the swagger that a famous person would swag. And watch the way people respond to you in this day. Watch what happens. Watch how differently you are treated by people who don't know of you, but that are feeling the vibration of you. Pretend that you are a saint. Pretend that you have been imbued with an energy of love that is so powerful that it sort of oozes through you. And pretend that the animals know it, and the babies know it, and people tuned in, tapped in, turned on know it. And walk through the day and watch how people respond to you. Pretend that you are a scorned lover who has been mistreated and left with nothing. Just for a day. It is really worth the fun. Pretend that the other one got all the money and the house, and that you were left with scraps, and beat the drum of resentment about it, and watch how you are treated in that day. Wow. In other words, the world is going to respond to the vibration that is dominant within you. And once you've played it out there in the world with strangers, then start playing it with the people around you. You can evoke respect from people if you are in that vibration where you are expecting it. You can evoke help from people if you are in that vibration where you are expecting people to be helpful. In other words, get on a rampage where you think nobody can do anything accurately for you, and watch how many holes they drill in things that they weren't supposed to drill holes in. In other words, watch how many mistakes they'll make right around you when you've decided that. In other words, it is amazing how law of attraction will bring to you the essence of whatever it is dominantly radiating from you. So you've got to decide not who your brother is. You've got to decide who you are.
That's right.
And when you decide who you are, he'll find his place among that. But you'll be so who you are, who he is won't matter.
I'll be doing my book of positive aspects every morning. And this has been great.
It is about that, yes. In other words, the book of positive aspects is more about who I be and how I feel, who I am. I am such a centered person that my feathers are not ruffled, no matter what.
That's where I have to really start from, I think, for me, just to get to that place.
Good. Very good. Yes.
Great. Super. What can I say? Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. Be easy about it. We make too much of it. It's not supposed to be so hard. It's supposed to be easy. And it will be as you start letting the criteria, the most important criteria be, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. In fact, I want to feel good so much that I'm willing to change the way I look at this and this and this and this and this. And the more things you look at in ways that feel good, the more things that feel good will come, and then the easier it is to feel good. So you look for things that feel good, and then you feel good, and then things that feel good come to you. It's just the way it is. And occasionally something that doesn't feel so good sneaks in. It's sort of been lurking there. Some ex somebody or other turns up. And then you say, oh good, somebody new to feel good about. Somebody that I don't usually feel good about, that now I get to train myself to feel good about. Because feeling good is just who I am. There is great love here for you. We are complete.